All right, we're ready to begin with Vanderbilt. Ask Coach Stackhouse for a couple of thoughts on the game. Take your questions for the student athletes. Let them return to the locker room, and then we'll finish up with Coach. Coach, would you begin?
Yes, obviously we're a little disappointed with the outcome of the game, but definitely not disappointed in our effort. I thought our guys, after getting, hit, kind of with a haymaker early on, we started off a little sluggish ourselves. I think it was a quick turnaround for us. But those guys came out with a ton of energy, making a lot of shots. But our guys just continued to battle. We talked at halftime about coming out and maybe getting it to 10 by the 10-minute mark, and we got it really, really close. So, super proud of our guys and the way they fought and where they competed. Our veteran guys, Jordan Wright and Ez, they played a ton of minutes for us. Tyron as well. I thought Q. They left it all out there. They knew what we was playing for, knew what we was fighting for. So proud of them, proud of their effort, and proud of these young guys. Our future is really bright. The way Colin stepped in and kept us in the game today, Paul, yesterday the same thing. So we're excited about how we finished the season, our first 20-win season since we've been here. So we got some positives, but obviously it's a little disappointing right now because we had a little bit of aspirations for finishing the tournament.
All right, questions for either of the student athletes, if you'll raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. Raise your hand. All right, let's start on the front row on the right.
For Colin, a few nights ago you mentioned to me that you started to hit more shots, and it feels like now you're playing your best basketball. Is it just that you're hitting shots more, or is there anything more to that?
Coach Stack here and the rest of the staff, they really have confidence in me and Paul and all the young guys and really everyone on the court. So, it's really easy to go out there and just knock down shots. And, we're in the gym all the time working on it. So, why be scared when you get out there? And, we were in a hole. We started off pretty bad. So, I feel like I saw the first one go in, and I just felt like I had to be the person to try to keep us in the game and just being as confident as possible.
Other questions for either of the student athletes? Raise your hand. All right, let's go to the second row on the right.
For either of you guys, just what changed around February 1st with this team, and how hard is it now to know that you can't prove the team you are anymore after today?
Let's go with Paul on that one.
I would say nothing's really changed. We stuck to the same stuff we've always been doing. Every day we go in and do the same things in practice. We work on the same stuff. And Coach always says to just work the season, work the game. And I think that's what we did, and we're just reaping the fruits of our labor.
Other questions for either? Raise your hand. Okay, let's come back to the front row on the right.
As young guys on this team, for both of you, what would you say about the veteran leadership in the locker room?
Colin, you go first.
Yeah, I think, they're very wise, and they've been in these positions before, making these runs, and, just learning from them and just taking what they have to say and just putting in the back of your mind when you're playing, having guys like Jordan and Miles coming before me, just watching them play, and just, it's just something to look up to.
The same for Paul?
I say the vets, they make it easy for us. They always telling us, showing us how it's done. They lead by example in a really good way. Ez is always talking to me, helping me figure things out. Even when I'm struggling with something, he'll help me out. So they make it a lot, very easy for us.
Other questions for either? Let's go to the second row on the right.
For both you guys this time, just obviously the goal, as Coach said, was to get to tomorrow, to get farther. For it to be done now, do you think you've done enough to hear your name called tomorrow?
Paul, would you go first?
I think we have. We beat some really good teams. We finished in a decent spot in the best conference in the country. I feel like we've done enough, but all we can do is wait and see what happens.
Others? All right, we'll take one more right here in the front row.
For you guys as a team, you responded so well after you guys didn't perform the way you wanted to in Tuscaloosa. What was the biggest key to going on that 9 out of 10 run going into today and putting yourselves in this position?
I think after that game, we all kind of just locked in, really. it was an embarrassing loss, and we all wanted to bounce back. And I mean, at that point, we really had nothing to lose. Coming off of that, we just wanted to go out there and play hard, and we just brought that to every game, and it just turned into a run. I feel like this game, it kind of started out the same way. They punched us in the mouth, and we could have easily been like Alabama and just gave up. But we had a lot of fight. We kept fighting, and we never quit. And I think that we should earn some respect for that.
All right, Willie, excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. We'll continue on with Coach Stackhouse, if you'll raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. Let's start on the center aisle, right in the middle.
Yeah, Stack, do you feel like y'all have done enough to hear your name called tomorrow?
I think we have. I mean, I'm not, again, it's not up to us, but I think we handled our part of it. We've done all that we could do as far as playing the game. I think the right way, playing hard, playing tough. We played, like I think the kid just said, in the best conference. There's no doubt about it in my mind that we play in the best conference, the toughest conference, and when they talk about us getting 8 or 9 teams, there's no way you're going to tell me that we're not one of the best 8 teams in this league. And we finished 4th in our league, and we've done it in a number of ways. We hadn't had our. I think you take any first team All SEC player, the defensive player of the year, or any candidate that was up for possible for a defensive player of the year, or even a second team SEC player. You take them out of that, out of the mix. Do they still get where we are right now and still play with the same energy, effort, and passion that these kids play for? Like I said, I think they deserve a taste, especially for our guys that have been here 4 years and labored through, this rebuild. For us to get an opportunity to hear our name called tomorrow would be very, very rewarding to all of us, and especially to those guys.
All right, next question, second row on the end.
Jerry, just wondering how much you thought tired legs were part of the early stages of the game, and how did you guys handle that quick turnaround last night, getting prepared for this?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, but again, it's no excuses. Again, that's part of it. I think we made a run. We had an opportunity. We had some great looks there in the second half to close the distance and put a little more game pressure into the game, and we just couldn't find a way to knock those key shots down. I definitely felt like we were a little bit running in mud. I don't know why though. I mean, I thought that the first minute or two of the game, just getting into our sets, we were a little bit slow. That kind of half court trap that they do. It's just to kind of stall you. I thought we could have been a little bit more aggressive, and then we started to get a little more aggressive with it there in the second half, and not just getting into the corner, getting back out, and getting stagnant. But I thought we had a little bit more fluidity to what we were doing there, and it was just just a little bit struggle getting into it tonight. I can't put my finger on exactly what it was. Felt like we were ready to play. Felt like we knew what we were playing for, but I was proud of them. Again, it was kind of the same thing that happened to us at Alabama. Teams just really came out, on fire. Whatever we did, whatever we tried, they still saw the ball go into the basket and they got some separation there. What happened then? We got two of our leaders, collided heads and went out. Again, I didn't play probably arguably another one of our best players that game. So, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control. And I think, this was a case where it could have spiraled out of control tonight. The way, how confident that team was playing and how slow we got off, but our guys just kept fighting, and that's what I'm proud of. We got back into the game after being down big, and I think that's a sign of a good team. That's a sign of a team that could do something special with an opportunity on the one and out format.
Let's go to about the fourth row back here on the end.
Yeah, Coach, you lost by 57 on the last night of January. How did you and your team kind of create this turnaround over the last month and a half, and what does it mean for your program, like at the end of this year and moving forward?
And I didn't just start at that game. Everybody kind of started there. we played some good basketball before that. We didn't, we were won 3 games early. We lost 3 games. We had a tough schedule. Like I said, I say it all the time. Again, our we finished 4th in the conference, but our 11-7 record is a little different than the other 11-7 records. We played, Kentucky twice. We played Tennessee twice. We played Alabama twice. Everybody in this team, their slate is not the same. We went to, we tied with the same record with Missouri. We went there, and if you really watched the games and saw what happened in that game, there was, a lot left desired about some missed opportunities that we could have had that could have changed the game, and that's happened a couple times. And that's part of the game. You go on the road, you battle adversity, and you might not get the benefit of the doubt. And we definitely didn't get the benefit of the doubt in that game. But again, with that said, we really built a tough schedule. I mean, I think strength of schedule should mean something. I mean, because that's what we went out to do. I mean, when I said it and I talked with, Coach Andy Fox about building our schedule, we could have got some more cupcakes. We didn't want cupcakes. We wanted teams to help us prepare for SEC play, because we felt like there was plenty of opportunity for quad 1 and quad 2 wins within our league if we won enough games in our league. I mean, we played 20 SEC games and won 13 of them. You tell me a team that win 20 games and win 13 SEC games in the toughest conference in the country, yeah, we belong in the NCAA tournament. Ain't no doubt in my mind about that.
All right, we're going to take 2 more. Let's take one right here on the end, and then we'll come to the middle.
Obviously, it stinks today, but you guys got to Saturday, the SEC tournament, for the first time since, I think, 2015. How do you evaluate this week in general?
No, I mean, I thought we had a great opportunity to get there last year again. The ball was in, the game was in a balance, and we had an opportunity, but we just didn't quite get it done. We were able to get it done, this time around. But again, we want to try to improve our seeding. I mean, that's what it's about. The lower seeding, the less turnaround you have, especially when you get to these days. So I mean, just having the few hours of rest. It means a lot, at this point of the year and this point of the season. But now it's like, you're gonna have it's not any more back-to-backs. So now you can really sit down and prepare and get ready for what's next.
All right, last question right here in the middle.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Mignon and Wright and what they've meant to your team. I mean, Wright had to basically take on the junkyard dog role when of course, Robbins went down for the second time, but he's done a great job of doing the dirty work for you. And then Mignon, this is my first time seeing him live in person, and he's so smooth. Just talk about the impact he's had.
Yeah, I mean, he's special. Yeah, I mean, he's special. I mean, he's an unbelievable competitor. He's a warrior. I mean, he played, 38 minutes out there. I mean, I just knew for us to have any chance, we needed him to give us everything he had, and then he did that. Constantly got downhill. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough team. I mean, Buzz does a good job of mixing up those kind of zone defenses and different things, and it's not necessarily a zone. It's more of a matchup, and I thought he did a good job of reading. And still being able to get downhill and make plays. And Jordan the same way. He's a competitor. He didn't shoot the 3 well. I think if he make a couple more threes, then maybe it's a different game. But I like the fact that he took them. He was aggressive, and he know that a lot of our success rides on him playing well and him competing at a high level and playing with urgency. And I thought for over this stretch, he did that. All right, I think there's no secret about it. I don't think he had his best season this year. There were some ups and downs, but at the end of the day, when we needed him the most, he stepped up, and he was the leader and the Vanderbilt man that I expected him to be.
Thank you.